Good morning, everybody. This is Stardeta9 coming at you from the kitchen. I'm going to show you how I make a simple loaf of sandwich bread. This will also make cinnamon rolls, dinner rolls, whichever you choose. This is a kind of all-around recipe for any of those types of products. You're going to preheat your oven to 400, and this will cook anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes based on your oven and your environment at 400 Fahrenheit for 15 to 20 minutes or until golden brown. Mine sometimes takes 25 minutes. So you're going to use 1 cup of lukewarm water. I'm about 1/16, which is fine. And you're going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar and 1 packet of active dry yeast, which is in here, into the 1 cup of water, warm. Stir it up. You're going to set this aside for 5 minutes until it's bubbly and foaming on the top. I have here salt, 3.5 cups flour, 1 egg, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt to my flour. I'm using Himalayan salt. You can use whichever you prefer. So that's 3.5 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of Himalayan salt, 1 egg, and you're going to have 2 tablespoons of avocado oil or vegetable oil, whichever you prefer. I'm going to add the avocado oil for mine, and I'm going to add it into there before I place it into my mixer. You're going to want to use a stand mixer for this. I'm going to use a 9x5 pan. I've lightly greased it with a little bit of salmonella sprinkled on the bottom. I'll bring you back as soon as this gets foamy and bubbly. All right, as you can see, from the line up, it's all foamy and ready to go. So I'm going to take the fork out of there for a minute. We're going to add our 2 tablespoons of avocado oil to this. I'm going to add 1 egg. And I'm just going to whip it up a little. I'm going to pour it in my stand mixer bowl. We're going to, remember we have 3.5 cups of flour and 1 teaspoon of Himalayan salt. We're going to add 3 cups in the beginning, and then if we need that extra 1/2 cup, we'll use it. Sometimes you don't need that extra 1/2 cup, so start with 3 cups. That's why I put the salt on the top so I could get it first. I add all 3 cups. I just keep back 1/2 a cup, which is right there. I add my dough mixer. And you're going to beat this on low to medium for about 3 to 5 minutes and create a dough. Usually comes together pretty quickly. Mine usually takes anywhere between 3 to 4 minutes, and it's done. But because you may be first trying this recipe at first, if it's too liquidy, then you add your little bit of flour a little at a time, maybe a tablespoon at a time. And if it's too dry, you can add a little bit of water to it, a little tablespoon at a time. You can see my mixer's beginning to bounce a little bit. I'm going to stop it for 1 minute. See where we're at. You don't want the dough to stick to your fingers or your hands. I'm just going to get all the flour on the bottom. Make sure I got everything. If you're using the method I use, you'll notice that the stand mixer, it'll clean off the sides when it's ready. So I have a really nice dough ball going here. I'm going to drop that back in there. And I'm just going to let her go for a couple seconds here and see if she needs anything or creates a bigger dough ball. Okay, so I don't need any more. So as you can see, I don't need to add the 1/2 a cup of flour. And that's how it might be for you. And it'll turn out like this soft, beautiful dough. And you're just going to take a little bit of oil and oil your bowl. I just use my fingers, spread it around in the bowl. I flip her around, form a circle. Just a little ball, just like that. Plop it in. Put a damp cloth over the top. Place it in a warm spot in your kitchen. You can preheat your oven to the lowest temperature and then turn it off if you like. and place it in there and let it double in size or for 1 hour. So I'll bring you back in an hour. All right, mine took about 40 minutes. It's doubled in size. So what I'm gonna do is, remember the half a cup of flour I had? I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of flour on my surface. I've already prepared my 9 by 3.5 pan. I'm just gonna turn my dough out. And we're gonna knead this, and it's gonna take anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes based on you and your dough and your environment. So you're just gonna place the palm of your hand and push, fold, and push. This is the fun part. Just keep folding it over onto each other and push it out. Push it out, way out. Sometimes it only takes a couple minutes, and what you're doing is building up the gluten in your bread. And you see my pan's here, it's ready to go. Don't need much flour. You're going to prepare an egg wash with milk and 1 egg, or you're going to use water, whichever you prefer. Take your time. You cannot over knead your bread. The flour just really helps you to push it along the surface, not because it's sticking. $12.12. Wow, idiosyncrasy. Spirit's talking to me. Loving the fact that I'm making homemade bread. You can use bread flour or all-purpose flour, whatever you have in the house. And I'm going to try to shape it the length of my pan here. Wipe up that flour. Use your hands. It might bounce back at you. If it bounces back and fights you too much, let it rest for 5 minutes and come back. All All right, we're gonna take and roll it up just like that. Squeeze those ends, squeeze those ends. Pop any bubbles you see. That's what I'm doing. Popping bubbles. Okay, and you're gonna plop it in the pan. You're gonna cover it again until it reaches 1 inch above the rim of the pan, or 1 hour, whichever comes first. Preheat your oven to 400 and prepare your egg wash, and I'll meet you back in an hour. All right, mine has risen. It's taken about 45 minutes maybe. And it's 1/2 above the rim of the pan. So I'm just going to apply the egg wash to it. My oven is preset to 400. I should go off any minute. We're gonna bake this anywhere between 15 to 25 minutes based on your oven and your environment. You can save this egg wash, and if you bake a lot, you can use it for up to 3 days, and then if you gotta toss it out, I use milk, not water. You can use whatever you'd like. Just place the egg wash on top. Just waiting for the oven to go off at 400, and I will bake it for 20 to 25 minutes, and I'll bring you back when it's done. Okay, in the oven she goes at 400 for 20 to 25 minutes. The inside Fahrenheit should be 240 if you measure it for the depth of how well it has cooked. So I'm gonna place mine into the oven. I'm gonna set a timer for 20 minutes, and I'll bring you back. Okay guys, mine took 21 minutes and left it in the pan about 3 minutes, and then I took it out of the pan and I took my paintbrush and I dusted it with a little bit of cold butter. I have an electric knife that I like to use. However, you want to make sure that this cools 100% before you try to slice it into it. I know it's hard. Just be patient with yourself. So I use an electric knife like this, and I cut it into sandwich slices once it's 100% cool. I used nectarine jelly and strawberry jelly, in which I made and has been in the pantry. So I'm gonna try some nectarine. I know what the jelly, the strawberry tastes like. I love it. But I am gonna try the nectarine jelly on this when it's 100% cool. This will give me 14 slices of bread, and I put a little bit of sea salt on it because I will go back through it one more time and take melted butter now that's on the counter and just run it across with a light sprinkle of sea salt. And then you will have bread for the week. If you want to slice it up, maybe put 4 in a freezer bag and take them out as you need them, 4 pieces at a time. It'll last you longer, but if you leave it on the counter, it'll last about 5 to 7 days because there's no additive preservatives in it. It's delicious. Please try it. I will post the recipe in the description below. I love you guys so much. Namaste.